What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. Welcome to Sales Support Saturday, where each and every week we help you achieve sales success in your business. And we do it the easy way. I think a lot of people, I know they do. It might be you. They make it too complicated. They just make it way too complicated. And so the lesson for today, the sales support for today, maybe working on some proposals over the weekend. I know I am. I'm going to show you how I write six-figure proposals. All right. Actually, let's go ahead. Let me get on. Do you mind if I hop on Instagram as well? If you're listening to this, I will be sharing slides. So you know the routine. www.ineedsalessupport.com. That's huge because then you can get access to resources, community, and I'm growing that over time just based on feedback of participants like yourself. If you already have joined ineedsalessupport.com right now, it's a free resource. So the only thing I'm asking for you is to execute. I don't want you to show up here and passively receive this information. Like, take the information and run with it. Go put it into practice in your business. So here's the vibes. I'm going to share my screen over here. Again, ineedsalessupport.com if you want to get reminders, or you can follow us on YouTube at New Skills, New You. One thing I'm real big on, this is so important. I'm going to give you the whole strategy. I'm going to give you the whole strategy. I know some people are like, oh, for the rest, for steps, right? For steps 2 through 10, you gotta buy my course. No, I'm going to give you the whole strategy right now for a six-figure proposal. First things first, I am not a lawyer, okay? This is not a contract. It's not a servants level agreement. Don't listen. It's not legal advice. Please seek a professional. Number 2, this is how I do it. This is not the only way to do it. This is just, it's step 1, because if you don't send a proposal, then you can't get a yes. You can't get approved. You can't get accepted. So a basic proposal is better than no proposal. And this is the framework that every proposal I've ever sent really goes out, whether it's $1,000 or $100,000. And I learned how to write these from working in the SaaS space when we're sending out proposals to government agencies, billion-dollar businesses. So let's dive right in. First step first, what's the problem? Now, if you're answering a request for a proposal from a government entity, they probably have a template. Probably want your LLC, maybe your DUNS number, maybe your NIC codes. Give them that information. You're like, oh, Bruce, you didn't cover every detail. This is a template. It's not going to cover every detail. The first things first, and I was just going over this with my clients this week, we have to talk about the problem. What problem do we solve? Now, if they've requested this proposal, they probably have some idea of what they're hoping to accomplish. What I encourage you to include in your proposal, stop shaking the desk, is what happens if they don't work with you. What's up, Rakim? This one actually goes out to my buddy Rakim Sabri, your financial trauma coach. He sent me an RFP this morning, and that's why we're talking about this right now. If you want to hop over to YouTube and New Skills New You, I've got the screen up over there. And I'm just talking about building a six-figure proposal. The one thing I miss, if you are already sending out proposals, the one thing that you can change today to help increase your acceptance rate, to increase your price, is to include the problem. What happens if we do not go with your solution? A lot of times, respectfully, we start talking about, oh, I have this certification. I've been doing this for this many years. I've worked with these logos, right? I mean, maybe there's some recognizable logos. I have one client, she's worked with Xbox and Coca-Cola. It's dope in real life. And so one of the things we covered, and I'm sharing with y'all, is your proposal. What's up, Alexandria? Your proposal has to talk about the product. And I don't see this often enough. That's why I'm pausing here. I'm staying on it. The problem is the reason people pay. The problem is the reason people pay. So I almost need you to be I want you to be a little rude about it. I want you to be a little bit of an asshole about it. Like, what are the consequences if they don't? Because sometimes people will say to themselves, like, oh, we'll do this third quarter, we'll do this fourth quarter, we'll do this next year. And so in order to get, and sometimes the answer is, hey, we can't afford this, so you have other options. That's still a yes. If they don't respond to you, if they tell you no, if they reject it, that's, you're not getting no money. Less money is better than no money. And you can make adjustments, but you have, when you emphasize the problem, you create a sense of urgency and you raise the value. The higher the problem, the more they're willing to pay. And the more urgent the problem, the faster they're willing to pay. So whenever I do a proposal, talk about the problem first. Before I put my name, maybe that's at the top in the corner in little letters. That's really not important. What's important is there a problem to be solved? Because no matter how fantastic my solution is, if there's no problem, it's like trying to get someone Advil or ibuprofen, they don't have a headache. They'll be like, all right, I guess, thanks. I'm gonna put this on the shelf. So your proposal can instantly be improved if you emphasize the problems. And then underneath that, what are the consequences if they do not go with your solution, right? What's the cost over time? What's the detriment to their business? What's the impact on their team, on their clients, on their customers? If you start with that, you'll be like, ooh, they're going to read the rest of it. So after the problem, we're going to talk about the solution. Now, another mistake I have, and this is where proposals in 5, 6, 7, 10 pages. The solution is bullet points. So for example, my solution might be sales training. I'm actually literally working on a proposal. It's going to be sales enablement. And let's see here, sales enablement. And I'll probably put in some sales support. All I want to do, unless they request something different, give them what they ask for. I only want to put definitions. I only want to put definitions on there. Brief description, I'm talking 50 to 100 words. Do not outline your entire your program. This is a proposal. This is what I'm going to do. It's not how I'm going to do it. So I usually do those bullet points, a brief description, what's included, the outcome and benefit, or what's the language they like to use in corporate? It's the benefit or objective, all right? So we're going to let me just do this, benefit. And objective. So basically, the objective is this sales training is designed to accomplish X, Y, Z. The benefit of doing X, Y, Z is 4, 5, 6. So that can sound like training, objective, to help the individual, the realtors have a higher conversion in creating new customers. Benefit, increase employee retention, increase revenue, customer satisfaction, right? Those are the outcomes. Remember, those outcomes are more valuable and more significant because we've already highlighted the problems. They're wasting time going on calls, going to meetings, giving presentations. They're having conversations that aren't turning into clients. It's impacting morale negatively, right? Revenue's down. They're frustrated. The client isn't being serviced, right? Those are the problems. Hey, what's the solution? All right, we're going to have some sales training. And the sales training is literally going to be, the solution you offer is just going to be the opposite of the problem you just described. Okay? You don't have to create a whole new a set of words. Just describe the opposite. Hey, here's the problem. You work with me. Here's the solution. Simple. All right. So I like the objective and the benefit. Very simple framework. Easy to write, easy to understand. So now we've got a solution. We've got the next thing is, who are you? This is where you brag about yourself. And you want to answer the question, why are you uniquely qualified? You can't spell. Uniquely qualified to offer this solution. This is so simple. A lot of people start here. I don't recommend it. A lot of people start here. They start bragging about themselves, but don't start there. It's important, but it's not the beginning. Because again, it's really not about you. It's about them. So once we get on the problem, right? Let's do this. Let's say 1. Then we go to the solution. It's 2. Then we talk about who are you? All right, that's number 3. And this is the template. This is the template I use 90% of the time, unless they provide, like it's a government RFP, they usually have a form that you have to fill out, which also makes it easier. You just fill it out and send it back. But you still want to use this concept in there. So if you're starting from scratch, this is a great place to start. Who are you? Why are you uniquely qualified to offer this solution? So this is where we talk about your credentials, and we'll talk about, see what else we need to include. Your experience. If you have any case studies where you've done something similar, that's huge. Oh, let me turn this, stop sharing the screen real quick. I love case studies because they demonstrate your experience. It's an illustration. Let me see if I can pull one up. It's an illustration of when you've done this before. It's almost like a testimonial, but it's a little bit more scientific. It's a little bit more empirical, right? It's measurable. Like a testimonial is from the client, and they'll say things like, oh, it was great working with them, had a wonderful outcome. Our clients loved it. Our team was better. And that's great. Include those. But case studies, I think, are more effective. This is one of my clients. I have permission to share this. Don't get on my case. Here's a real simple case study. This might be too pretty. Don't worry about being pretty. Just make sure it's legible, makes sense. So there's an introduction of who she is, the challenge. What I tell you, start with the problem. There's a solution. What's going on here? Accounting management. Delete that. There we go. Looks like I need to update this a little bit. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your spell checking this for me. So if you're on Instagram, you can't see that you're listening to the podcast. The case study is like an inverse proposal. I got the challenges there, I got the solutions, but the difference is what you won't be able to show results in a proposal because it hasn't happened yet. With a case study, it's like a proposal with the results at the end. And so you'll see here, I've got 1, 2, and 3, some measurable results, some tangible outcomes from working with me. Why is this important? Because as I'm reviewing your proposal and you include a case study or 2 in there, I want to see that this is going to work for me. I want to see that if I hire you, I pay you this money, I give you the contract, I'm going to have the desired outcome. And it gives me more confidence that you can do that if I see you've done it before, right? It's pretty straightforward, but it's so important. So I like to include those credentials in my proposal, my experience, some case studies, some testimonials are good. And if you have, what's the word? In the government sector, they might, I guess these are technically considered certifications, but that's documentation that you know what you're talking about. So I'm working on a cybersecurity certification. And one of the frustrating things for me, I'm moving through it pretty quickly, is because I already know all the stuff. But because I don't have it documented, it's very difficult to create the conversation where I can demonstrate that knowledge. Certification is a document that lets other people know I did the work, right? So problems, solutions, then we talk about you. And you answer the question, why are you uniquely qualified to offer this solution? Right? Now, depending on the organization, I like to put pricing in my proposals. I'm not going to mess around with y'all. I'm going to let you know. You're going to have to pay to play. The information is free, but my time is not. So the pricing, now here's how you get it to a 6-figure proposal. I told you I was going to give you all the sauce. We weren't going to do any, run this for part 2. No, we get all the sauce right now. In order to create a 6-figure proposal, you don't have to have a 6-figure product. Stay with me. This absolutely changed my life. And I wish I could remember who told me this so that I can share it with you. So I can give them credit. But you don't have to have a six-figure product. You don't have to have $100,000 product or service. You could just say, hey, you've got 1,000 employees. I'm going to train them at $50 a session. And it's 2 sessions. Somebody check my math. Right? I'm going to do 2 workshops for your team. So it's $50 an employee. If you've got 1,000 employees, and it's $50 each, and there's 2 sessions, guess what? That's a 6-figure contract. You see how it works? Like, a lot of you all are closer to a 6-figure contract than you realize. You just haven't asked somebody with 100,000, $250,000, $500,000. What's up, Terry? What's going on? So when we talk about creating a 6-figure proposal, I hope that you're still here, that you're listening to it. You don't have to be 30 years experience. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't, whatever, insert the excuse that you're telling yourself. You really just have to have, let's just keep it simpler. Let's say I got $100 per employee per session. Okay, stay with me. And there's 1 session a month. All right, we're going to do a monthly. It's a year-long training. And it's 100 employees. But here's what I'm going to do. Check this out. Let's just tell them, let's say there's only 10 employees. Maybe you're doing an executive coaching program. Say there's 10 employees. I'm going to give you guys a discount. I don't give discounts. This is pricing structure. But it sounds nice. Like, hey, if you pay for a year up front, instead of paying for $1,200, right? 12 months times 100. You with me? $1,200. If you pay up front, it's only $1,000. So you call it pay a full bonus. You could call it a discount, whatever you want to call it. Pay a full bonus. It's $1,000 for the year. Oops, sorry. I think I said 10 employees. That should be 100 employees. All right, $1,000 for the year. So now, 1 employee is $1,000. There's 100 employees. That's easy math. That's a 6-figure contract. You see how it works? And think about the concept here. You only have to come up with 12 workshops. And if you don't have 12 workshops, you got 6. Do a 6-month contract. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't overthink it. And you could just say, hey, listen, I'm going to do 50 employees for 6 months. And the next 6 months, I'm going to do the other 50 employees. That's a 6-figure contract. And man, what time is it? I really don't have time to go into the things that people are paying for. But just Google talent development or workforce development. They'll pay for all sorts of things: communication, leadership, training, sales. Shout out to yours truly. I make sales simple. They do computer skills. They do conflict resolution, DE&I training. There's money for you. Someone's just waiting to give it to you. You haven't asked yet. All right, so let's see, what do we do? We said 1,000 employees, that's $50 per session. We do 2 sessions. That's 2 workshops, right? 2 Saturdays out your life. Maybe they do it on a Wednesday. Or if we do $100 per employee per session, we could do a year-long contract, right? Let's kick it up a notch. What can you charge $1,000 for? Remember, the bigger the problem, the bigger the price tag. And you can do a 1-day workshop seminar for somebody that has 100 employees. And you just tell them, look, it's 1,000 per employee. Send as many people as you want. It's a 1-day workshop. It's got to have a clear outcome. They will pay it, but it has to have a clear outcome. You say, by the end of this program, by the end of this training, by the end of this workshop, they're going to get this benefit. Where's my other phone? 1 second. Listen, if y'all don't believe me, My buddy sent this to me this morning. Let's see here. Here it is. It's a financial services company offering a six-figure corporate contract. They want a twice-a-month training. Okay, what I just say in the example? 2 times monthly. Is that bi-monthly? Man, let me check my grammar. On managing sales. Okay. Planning and launching new products and services. Okay. Ensuring the company provides excellent customer service. All right. Using online software to increase sales and improve customer experience. Their advertised rate to book a consultant is $175,000, and it's an 8-month contract. That's another way to do it. Look, I'm not making this up. This was sent at 12:36 yesterday. He sent it to me. Well, he technically sent it to me yesterday. I was asleep. 175 for an 8-month contract. Let's hold on. Where's my calculator at? Where's my calculator? 175, 8 months, and then let's divide it one more time by 2 because we got 2 sessions in a month. That's $10,937 a session. Not even a session at 30 minutes for Q&A. Who's trying to make 5 bands an hour? You just gotta send it. And here's what's beautiful about this contract. I'm gonna go type up my proposal, and it's just gonna mark down everything they said on the list. Those are the solutions. I'm gonna highlight the problems. Hey, if you don't have these things, it's gonna cost you money. You're not gonna create the market share that you want. I'm just gonna work backward from what they asked for. Hey, please believe I'm sending in this proposal. I'm work on this weekend. I might send it Sunday. I'll probably send it Monday morning. That way I can pair it up with a phone call and say, hey, did you get it? And I'm going to do exactly what I'm telling you. I'm going to showcase the problem. I'm going to set a solution. We're going to talk about who I am. Like, who's this Bruce guy asking me for $175,000? And why they should hire me to solve this problem for them. And then here's the thing. With a contract that large, I'm probably going to do 2 things to sweeten the deal. I'm going to say, hey, listen, you can have as many employees as you want, and you can keep the trainings, the recordings for a lifetime. I know, shout out to Ashley Esquire, right? Put some respect on it. She likes to lease her programs. And you have to, you can lease them 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you can't share them with new employees. If there's new employees, they got to get a new license. That's a great way to do it. That's a great way to do it. I'm working on my learning platform, my LMS on the back end, so I can start, hey, Success Leaves Clues. But what I'm not going to do is, oh, I'm not ready. I'm just going to wait for the next one. No. I want this contract today. I want you to send more 6-figure contracts. You're already doing what you're doing. So now if I give this talk, let's say right now, this is a perfect example. Let me stop sharing the screen over here. I give this talk and 0 people show up. It's 30 minutes. If I give this talk and 10 people show up, it's 30 minutes. If I give this talk and 1,000 people show up, it's still 30 minutes. So guess what? Why don't I just charge? I'm not charging for my time. I'm charging this company for the number of people that attend. You see how that works? So what we have to think about as business owners, especially shout out to my entrepreneurs. I don't want you to be entrepreneurs. I want you to be business owners. But we got to start at the beginning. We have to stop measuring things and how much time it took us to do them. We have to start measuring things on the impact they have on the individuals and company. And so as I evolve, the training isn't going to change. I'm still going to go through writing 6-figure contracts the same way every time. It's the problem, it's the solution, it's my credentials, and it's pricing. You might throw in, so you ask for things like delivery. Hey, is this in person? Is it going to be virtual? Is it going to be during the week? On the weekend, you can throw in those details, but don't use the details as an excuse not to send it. I'll get on my client. We have a meeting on Thursday. And I was like, hey, how'd that conversation go with the client on Monday? She said, oh, they want a proposal. I said, great. what questions they have about the proposal? How many objections that I can help you with? She's like, oh, I haven't sent it yet. What? This wasn't six figures, but actually it might have been. I think it was about 85, 95, with then with some ancillary options. So it really could end up being 115. And I was like, if you don't send this proposal today, and we created the template, I'm sharing it with you. We created a template so that she can send them out quickly. She can just fill in the blanks, customize it to that business. Same. Because here's the thing. Well, Bruce, what if they have different problems? Then you shouldn't be talking to them. My problems are all the same. You're having conversations with potential clients that are not turning into dollars. Okay. You're wasting time. Your staff is frustrated. Your client is leaving with the same problem they came in with. The business is not growing. Your revenue is stagnating. That's the problem I solve. If you have that problem, I'm going to solve it. So what changes is not the problem. What changes is not my solution, because the solution is the same. I'm going to teach them. Where's my book? One second. Here it is. I'm going to teach them 8 steps to sales success. The only difference is going to be who's in front of me. If I have to change, if I have to write a whole new book, that's not my contact. That's not my client. So you can really build a template for your business, and you should be able to send these out within an hour of a conversation with a customer. You just figure out which of the problems that you solve they have. Which problem? I solved 10 problems. Which ones do you have? 2, 3, 7, and 8. Okay, boom. I sent over the contract with problems 2, 3, 7, and 8, and the solutions. And then that's what you do, just like I did, right? Hey, listen, it's going to be, what did I say? $100 a month or $1,000 for the year. You throw in a bonus. Hey, listen, I'm going to throw in 100 copies of a book. First 100 copies are free, right? You can write 6-figure proposals today. Not next week, not next month. I got to get a little bit more experience under my belt. I got to finish this certification. Unless the request for proposal requires you to have a certification, do not put restrictions on yourself. Don't give yourself extra stipulations. They're self-imposed. You're holding yourself back. Reading that, and maybe you're not a sales trainer, so you're like, all right, we got go-to-market strategies. And so I've been doing that for 15 years. I don't need any more certifications. I'm going to type this up this weekend. I'm going to send it to a buddy of mine who's been doing this for 30 years, and we're going to knock this out together. I'm super happy. If working with him doubles my chance to get the proposal, I'm twice as likely to get it, but you get half as much. Well, how much did you get if it was 0? Collaboration over competition. So if you really, really, really just don't have the confidence in yourself, I don't understand why. You're awesome. You're amazing. The world needs you. Partner with someone else. Say, listen, I'm gonna bring this proposal. I'll do the heavy lifting. Can I just leverage your XYZ experience, credentials, certifications? Get it done. So that's your assignment on the Sales Success Saturday. Go send some 6-figure proposals. I'm Bruce Hill, New Skills New You. I make sales simple for service-based businesses. Thanks for tuning in to Sales Support Saturday. If you're a solopreneur, if you're a business owner, and you want your team, whether individual contributors or your sales leaders, to achieve sales success, I want you to have them tune in. Tune in to ineedsalessupport.com. We do live Q&A and training every